Good morning, everyone. I'm Superintendent Jodi Gach with the Calgary Police Service. I oversee the traffic section, which is part of the Operational Support Division in the Bureau of Community Policing. We're here today because something deeply concerning is happening on Calgary's roads. Last year, we saw the highest number of fatal traffic collisions in a decade. And this year, we're on track to surpass that. In just under 2 years, 56 Calgarians have lost their lives in traffic collisions. That's 56 people who didn't make it home. Families, friends, co-workers, and entire communities are left grieving. These aren't just numbers, their lives cut short unnecessarily. In 2024 alone, we responded to 29 fatal collisions, including 13 pedestrians and 5 motorcyclists. So far this year, we've seen 27 more, with 8 pedestrians and 6 motorcyclists among them. We can't accept this as a normal. These tragedies are happening far too often, and we have to do better for ourselves, for our families, and for our city. There's no single cause behind these tragedies, but what we do know is that many of them are preventable. Excessive speed has been a factor in nearly 30% of the fatal collisions this year. And not every collision involves a criminal act. Sometimes it's simply a matter of someone not paying attention or moving when it's not safe to do so. As Calgary grows, our roads become busier than ever. With school back in session and shorter daylight hours, we all need to be extra cautious, especially around schools and residential areas. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. Whether you're driving, walking, or cycling, we all have a role to play in keeping our city safe. So what can we do? We can slow down, stay alert, drive to the road and weather conditions, wait until it's safe before proceeding, and give yourself extra time. And beyond individual actions, we need to keep pushing for safer road safety, design, and engineering. That's why today, in partnership with the City of Calgary, we're launching the Join the Drive to Zero campaign. This initiative is rooted in the Safer Mobility Plan, and it's all about reducing serious injuries and fatalities on our roads. Starting today, you'll see and hear powerful video and radio ads that tell the story of one preventable tragedy from multiple different perspectives. These ads show how a single collision can ripple through an entire community. Because it's not just the victim's family who's affected, it's their coworkers, classmates, teammates, coaches, neighbors, and even the first responders and medical professionals who are required to step in. Our shared goal is simple: save lives and change behaviors. We know this won't happen overnight, but with everyone's help, we can make a lasting difference. We remain committed to enforcing traffic laws and supporting safer mobility in Calgary, but we can't do it alone and we need your help. We'll now play the campaign ads, and then I'll be happy to take your questions.
I was in the left turn lane. I was feeling rushed. I had to beat the light. I don't think she saw me. She's the same age as my daughter. Was the same age.
With pedestrian deaths on Calgary roads at a 10-year high, it's time we take responsibility and end this for good. Join the drive to zero lives lost.
911, what's your emergency?
Girl's been hit. 8th Street and 17th Ave. She stepped out to cross and got hit. This is really bad.
With pedestrian deaths on Calgary roads at a 10-year high, it's time we take responsibility and end this for good. Join the drive to zero lives lost. A message from Calgary Police Service and the City of Calgary.
Thank you. We'll start with questions in the room. Any questions?
Pedestrian deaths in particular, do we know where these are happening? Are they happening on major thoroughfares or are they happening in residential roads? Because I know the speed limit was reduced to 40 in those areas? Do we have an idea of where those are happening?
It's not isolated to one place. I think the bigger issue is that pedestrians are getting hit in crosswalks while crossing with the right-of-way and without, and in places where there's not crosswalks. It's really more about the behavior and interacting with who the driver is instead of just walking across the road, less about location and more about the behavior associated with pedestrians.
I know talking with people who maybe visit from other provinces, one thing that they're always shocked about is that the kind of the right-of-way that pedestrians have here, and I don't know if it's a sense of safety, maybe a false sense of safety, but that's something that in other parts, even of the country, they say, oh, I've never think about just crossing here. Do we see more of that in Alberta and in Calgary?
Yeah, I think when we're walking places or when we see pedestrians, the important pieces are around just because you have the right of way doesn't mean that the driver has seen you. And so the important piece of looking before you cross it, taking your time. If you have earbuds in or you're listening to things and you're not hearing the noises around and just thinking that you're having the right of way, that also doesn't always work out in the best situation.
To what level do we think distracted driving, because we know that's been something that we've seen in the past, are we seeing an upward trend in terms of distracted driving, and do we think that plays a role in how many collisions we're seeing this year?
Yeah, I think the word distracted can be like distracted driving by the law, where people are looking at electronic devices, but distracted can also just be that you have lots going on in your mind, you're not taking the time, you haven't taken the time to get from point A to point B, you're in a rush, and so you're distracted in your thought and maybe not taking the time to evaluate all the circumstances on the road while you're getting there, which is, you know, a cause of some of the collisions and fatalities.
The excessive speed is a little bit more prevalent this year. Do you think that has anything to do with the photo radar changes?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about the ATE and that we do believe that ATE does help with public safety. Having said that, we've seen fatal collisions in intersections where there never was ATE there. And so excessive speed, 100%, can have influence or can be one of the causes of our serious injury collisions and fatalities. But how much that coincides with the ATs is still too early for data to show.
In the same vein, in terms of policy changes, we know that the province got away with, or kind of did away with the additional Class 5 driver's test, and that you could just have your GDL and keep going. Do you think something needs to change there, where there does need to be more training, testing for those that are on the roads?
I think there's always room for increased education, and we'll do our part as policing for the enforcement and the education part of it. As far as, I mean, we'll live by what rules are put before us that we can enforce and try and do our best job within them.
What are the Calgary Police doing? I know that with the removal of the automated traffic enforcement, there had been talk before about increasing traffic enforcement, you know, roadside cars, but given the situation, I mean, the public service ads are great, but what is the Calgary Police doing to lower the speed limits on the road? Is there going to be more enforcement, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so the Calgary Police Service is working on a very robust traffic safety plan that's led by our traffic section that works with, we can't do it all alone in one section, and so it works with all of our partners within the service and then our external partners as well. So to help with some of the enforcement, obviously education is one part of it. It's not just all about writing tickets, enforcement is part of it. We've also worked hard to have 3 new approved AT locations in Calgary to help assist with that piece of the enforcement. And we don't always get more police officers to come and do the enforcement, so we rely on our partners to work together on that as well.
Any last questions in the room before we move online?
What do you hope, if someone sees this, what do you hope they take away?
I think the biggest thing is, like, we've tried a number of different ways to get people to listen, to pay more attention when they're driving, to reduce the collisions and reduce the fatalities. They're obviously pretty emotion driving, and I think being in this position, I'm fortunate to work with a number of officers who respond to these calls, and the impacts, like when we talk about impacts, it's not just about the family, it's not just about the first responders that attend. There is a community ripple effect that it has. And so our hope is that in partnership with the city, when we have something that actually drives to some of those lived experiences or those personal experiences, we can get people to take responsibility for their own part in improving this. We know that it's not going to change overnight and there's going to be time for it to do it, but our collective hope is that people will take responsibility for what they can and play their part in reducing the serious injury, collisions, and fatalities.
Thank you. Operator, please put through the first question. For those that have just joined us online, please remember to hit *1 to enter the queue to ask your questions. Operator, please put through the first caller.
Your first question comes from the line of Colleen Underwood from CBC Calgary. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I know it's probably been talked about a bit, but first of all, why do you think this is happening now? Like, what's leading to this spike or this latest trend? Is it just more people being here, more growth in the city? What do you think is behind this?
I mean, it's tricky because there's no single cause of fatalities. So there are more people on the roads. I think people are feeling more pressure to get to places quickly. We've got the back to school. People are trying to get their kids into sports. There's pressures at work. People's minds are distracted when they're driving. I think what we know is that it's our time that we have to step in and say, this has become urgent. The trend cannot continue the way that it has, and that takes everyone's responsibility, and there's no single reason for it.
Colleen, do you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is it a lot of the pedestrians younger kids? Like, is there some sort of education that needs to be done about, aside from you, but anybody else that needs to be providing that education about being aware, or are the pedestrians all ages?
Yeah, there's no trend to be able to speak to that we could target a specific audience, that if we did this part better, we would see a decrease in the numbers. And so what we're really looking at is sort of that global picture of slowing down, staying alert, driving to the conditions. We know that road and weather conditions have an impact. Waiting until it's safe before proceeding. So that's a big one, is that it's a shared responsibility. You may have the right of way by law, but that doesn't mean that somebody else has seen you, and then giving yourself extra time.
Thank you. Operator, please put through the next one.
Next question is from the line of Tyson Feeder from City of Calgary. Please go ahead.
Hi there. I'm just wanting to kind of put this with a City of Calgary planning document that we have in regards to fatal collisions in the city since 1984. The 29 last year, I know it might be a 10-year record high, but going back to 1985, there was 49 fatal collisions in our city with less people. So the 29 that are involved last year, the 27 this year, we're still a far cry from record numbers in this city. So what is kind of the realization of bringing this forward, knowing that we're still seeing a lot of fatal collisions, but nowhere near what we have seen in the past in this city?
I think what I'd say is that in 2 years, 56 Calgarians have lost their lives. And so regardless of a comparison to past numbers, one is too many. And we see the impacts of the families and how it ripples through community. So the very fact that we're at 56, last year we had 29, we have 27, it's our shared responsibility to act and try and do something to get people to help jump on board with us.
Tyson, do you have a follow-up?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Operator, please put through the next one.
The next question is from the line of Logan Stein from 660 News Radio. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Is CPS speaking with police departments in other cities about all these deadly collisions? Like, is this a problem that's being seen maybe elsewhere around Alberta or in other provinces?
Yeah, it's not isolated to Calgary as far as serious collisions or fatalities. I think the common theme that we're having when we talk with our partners is that how can we change behavior and how can everybody be responsible for their part on the road?
Do you have a follow-up?
Okay. And, yeah, with CPS previously calling on the province to change course on photo radar speed enforcement, where are talks going from here? Do you have any hope that the province still could change course on these conversations?
I think where we're at right now is that we have 3 additional approved intersections where we can run ATE, and the rest I have no comment on where things will go in the future. I think our job is to do our part and enforce what's presented before us, and obviously we'll put forth any statistics or data that are around the numbers that we're seeing to try and have as much information out there so people can make educated decisions.
Thank you. I believe that's it for our online callers. Do we have any questions in the room for our partners at the City of Calgary? A few. Ravi, if you'd join us at the podium, please.
Good morning. Thank you for joining.
Just in terms of the piece that CPS just said, how's the city working with this campaign?
So the city is partnering with CPS on this campaign. We are working together as part of a safer mobility plan, which is a joint plan for both the city and Calgary Police Service. And we are teaming up. We understand enforcement and education is part. Engineering is also a part that plays a factor. So city using several tactics, including identifying hotspots where we're seeing collision trends. We're also piloting the use of artificial intelligence so that we can do some predictive modeling of where collisions are happening and how we can tackle those. There are several engineering treatments to improve safety as well as control speed on our roadways. So those are all the things the city is looking at.
Is the fact that we've seen the numbers that they are right now, does this increase the urgency in order to get some of these engineering projects done?
Yes, this is an all-time high over the last 10 years as we're looking at our patterns. So there is, the city is investing more into traffic safety, more countermeasures. You'll be seeing a lot more pedestrian crossing treatments like rectangular rapid flashing beacons, as well as improving safety in our school and playground zones. So a lot more engineering treatments like curb extensions. We're also doing a holistic review of speed limits on our collector roadways, as well as looking at speed humps and speed cushions in collector roadways.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Darren.
Where will we see these ads? Is it just going to be online, YouTube? We're going to see them on network? Where will they be?
Yeah, these ads are hosted both on Calgary Police and city websites, so we can provide that information after this.
And just to follow up, is there a cost associated with this?
Yes, so this campaign is jointly funded by Calgary Police and City of Calgary, and these are part of our regular budgets. And this is in line with other campaigns, safety campaigns that both Calgary Police and the city has.
Sorry to push on that. Do we have a dollar value?
Yes, we do have a dollar value. I'll ask Calgary Police Service team to provide that numbers to you.
Short answer is it's $100,000 so $200,000. It's like a year-long campaign. Yes, $200,000 for the year.
So for those that are joining online that might not have heard it, the answer was it's $100,000 for each, so a $200,000 campaign for a full year.
Thank you.
And I believe the ads run on radio, TV, in Cineplex theaters, and on social media. And Spotify as well. Amazon. Did I miss any? Okay. All right, any last questions before we call it today? We're good? Ravi, can you?
The cost of the campaign is $200,000, which is shared evenly between the Calgary Police Service and the City of Calgary. And this campaign will last a year with several ads running after this. So a series of ads and information is coming up.
All right, that concludes our press conference today. Thank you all for joining us.